me flashy, make me florid, make my oratory torrid. When I preach on the devil and the communists, let me pace across the stage like a silk-suited animal.
Again, we're going back to the reason I initially called was the topic is atheist evangelism.
Yes,
right. And I kind of explained.
I haven't heard anybody tonight touch on that topic.
That's because we didn't get there.
Yeah, we've just been talking to callers.
Here I am asking you to get there. Okay.
Well,
maybe
I
just for my own personal reasons, I need to believe that maybe a God doesn't exist.
Well,
but
see,
because of the way I have been raised for 35 years.
That's not the case either. It's not. I happen to believe that no gods exist, but that's not atheism. That's strong atheism. That's a different.
Okay, so what is atheist evagelism then?
Well, okay.
My goodness, I'm confused.
Okay, I talked about it earlier, but in case you missed it, I'll say it again. There have recently been a number of atheist groups who have been actively promoting the atheist message in a public form where it hasn't been presented before, through things like billboards, bus ads, signs out on public property next to nativity scenes, which I think it was actually a bad idea. But the long and short of it is, there has been more of an effort along these lines, and it has really riled up a number of Christian groups and believers. But the main point of it is that a great many atheists in our culture, there are people who are unbelievers who don't know any other atheists. They feel isolated. We've had a lot of callers tonight say these things. I decided I didn't believe in God, and suddenly my friends wouldn't talk to me. My coworkers wouldn't talk to me. My family shuts me out. What do I do? A lot of people out there, this is what, finally, when you get on the other side of the religious fence, you realize how divisive religion is.
Oh no, I realize how divided it is.
Yeah. So the atheist, when you talk about evangelism, all I'm really talking about is the way that these certain atheist groups, a number of, and they can be local, they can be nationwide, groups like Freedom from Religion Foundation, have recently begun doing things like advertising campaigns to just kind of get the message out there.
My question to you is, why would you want to argue with someone who may or may not believe?
Okay, stop.
Well, that's a different issue.
Hang on. You don't want to know what atheist evangelism is. You want to know about atheism and why any atheist would bother to talk about atheism.
You're exactly right. I do, and that's what the evangelism part comes into, because we're talking about
hang on
over television.
Hang on. Where it says topic and the thing after it, that's specifically something Martin wanted to talk about. So you're not wanting to talk about Martin's topic. You're wanting to talk about what atheism is and why anybody would want to go around advocating it in the first place.
I am. I would love to know why you believe that
I'm trying to get to the bottom of what you want.
I got you, and I'll be happy to answer it. Do you think that it's a good thing for people to be taking heroin all the time?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Would you?
Do you believe that it's good?
No. Would you be willing to, I don't know, speak out against that?
The simple yes or no question, Kim.
Would you be willing to speak out against that? Okay. So would I. I believe, first of all, I'm an atheist, which means that I am unconvinced that any of the God claims are true. I see no reason to believe any of them are true. I don't believe them. I reject them. I actually go a step further, and I actually believe there aren't any gods, but that's a separate thing. I'm in a position where I remain unconvinced of the various God claims, and I think that I have reasons to point out where those things are, where those beliefs are leading to actions which are harmful, and that some of the specific beliefs are untrue. I care enough, because I was a fundamentalist Christian for 20-some odd years and was going to be a minister, and I believed these things that I now think are...
And what changed that?
Sorry?
What changed that?
I'm getting there. I believed those things that I now consider to be untrue for a very long time, and I no longer believe them, and I'd like to tell other people that I no longer believe them, and perhaps help some of those other people who are in a position similar free themselves from the shackles of religion. What caused me to stop believing, number one, was a detailed study of the Bible, an analysis and consideration of the objections that other atheists and skeptics had launched against Christianity in particular and religion in general, a study of philosophy, a study of science, a broadening of my own understanding about the reality of the world, such that my old beliefs not only no longer made any sense, but were clearly wrong. They could not be supported by reason or evidence.
Well, it sounds like I'm similar to you at this point in my life. I don't know how old you are, but I am looking for something that is actually the truth.
Yeah.
I didn't call to really argue,
No,
but you hit the nail on the head when I said, yes, I am calling based on what your topic says, atheist evangelism, because to me that says, hey, I'm reaching out to you and I want you to know the truth.
Here's the thing, and because we only got like 20 minutes left, and there's two things. One, you can email tv@atheist-community.org. I forgot to mention this in the announcement, so I wanted to make sure I got it in there. For anybody, for any reason, you can email tv@atheist-community.org. That goes to myself, the co-host, some of the people behind the scenes. Number two, you're here in Austin, right, Kim?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Actually, Cedar Park.
Yeah, well, then it's quite a hike. But not only are you welcome to come to any of our events, including dinner after the show tonight at Threadgill's, but you can come down to the studio and watch the show live. You can meet up at the lectures. If you email, I mean, you know, I'm not out here. My purpose isn't necessarily to deconvert people, to drag them away from the religion, but for people who are genuinely interested in having the discussion and considering other options. Those are the people that I want to talk to, both on the show and in person. So, I mean, you can email questions or topics for discussion, anything, and we'll be happy to address them.
Yeah.
All right. So, and are you going to display that on the screen?
Yep.
Yeah, sure, right at the bottom of the screen right now.
I want to make one caveat. The first thing you got to get used to and get comfortable with is, I don't know. Because atheism isn't an ism. It's not a set of beliefs. It's not a tenet. There's no tenets, no dogma, no nothing. And there's no assertion that we have answers, that we are the right ones, that we have come to some grand understanding of the universe and we're right and they're wrong. It's an application of reason that says we don't know. We know what we know and we don't know what we don't know. And we're not necessarily okay with that. We are accepting that that is the current state, but we are constantly striving to find out the things that we don't know. And the best way to do this, the only way that anybody's ever demonstrated it with any reliability, is through the use of logic, reason, evidence, and the scientific method. That's it. Faith, praying, hoping, wishing, casting lots, none of that gets people any closer to truth in any kind of reliable sense.
It might give you emotional comfort, but it doesn't really...
Yeah, I care more about whether or not my beliefs are true than whether or not they feel
And how
good.
can you guys...
Make me flashy, make me florid, make my oratory